Most of us carry a conversation inside our heads that never ends. Thoughts comment, question, critique, and plan, creating a constant internal dialogue. This inner voice isn't just imagination, it's the brain's way of processing experiences, making decisions, and predicting outcomes. Understanding the science of inner dialogue reveals how these mental conversations shape perception, influence behavior, and quietly guide every choice we make, often without us even realizing it. Today, we will talk about the science of inner dialogue. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. What inner dialogue really is. Inner dialogue, also known as self-talk, is the ongoing conversation we have with ourselves in our minds. It can be conscious or subconscious and influences how we interpret events, make decisions, and regulate emotions. The brain constantly generates narratives about experiences, goals, and possibilities, which appear as internal speech. These thoughts can be positive, neutral, or negative, shaping mood and behavior. Research shows that inner dialogue is critical for problem-solving, planning, and self-reflection. However, when dominated by negative patterns, it can amplify anxiety, self-doubt, and indecision. Understanding the nature of inner dialogue helps you recognize that not all thoughts reflect reality. They are mental constructs influenced by past experiences, beliefs, and cognitive biases. By observing inner speech objectively, you can identify patterns that are helpful versus those that reinforce stress or unproductive thinking. Awareness is the first step to mastering inner dialogue rather than being passively influenced by it. 2. The brain regions behind self-talk. Several brain regions contribute to inner dialogue. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for planning, reasoning, and generating thoughts about the future, while the temporal lobe processes language and internal narrative. The default mode network, DAMN, activates during rest or introspection, facilitating reflection, daydreaming, and self-referential thinking. This network is why your mind often rehearses scenarios, replays conversations, or imagines outcomes without conscious effort. Additionally, the amygdala influences the emotional tone of inner dialogue, amplifying anxiety or fear when thoughts involve perceived threats. Understanding the neurological basis of self-talk explains why it feels automatic and sometimes overwhelming. Recognizing that these processes are brain-driven helps separate helpful reflections from distorted or exaggerated thoughts that can heighten stress. 3. Positive versus negative self-talk. Inner dialogue can be constructive or destructive depending on its content. Positive self-talk reinforces confidence, motivation, and resilience. It encourages problem-solving, reframes setbacks, and maintains emotional balance. Negative self-talk, on the other hand, magnifies failures, doubts, and fears. It often manifests as self-criticism, catastrophizing, or rumination, contributing to anxiety and mental fatigue. The difference lies not in the act of thinking, but in the narrative's tone and focus. By identifying negative patterns and consciously cultivating positive dialogue, individuals can reshape their mental environment, influencing mood, performance, experience, and decision-making. 4. How cognitive biases influence inner dialogue. Cognitive biases distort inner dialogue. Negativity bias causes the brain to focus on threats and failures more than successes, shaping self-talk toward caution or pessimism. Confirmation bias amplifies thoughts that align with pre-existing fears or beliefs, reinforcing unhelpful patterns. Catastrophizing transforms small uncertainties into imagined disasters. These biases operate subconsciously, making negative self-talk feel automatic and true, even when evidence suggests otherwise. Awareness of these distortions allows individuals to challenge inaccurate narratives, reducing emotional strain and promoting balanced self-reflection. 5. The role of inner dialogue in decision-making. Self-talk significantly influences decision-making. When the brain anticipates outcomes, internal dialogue evaluates potential consequences, risks, and benefits. Positive dialogue enhances clarity, enabling confident choices, while negative dialogue can induce indecision, procrastination, or avoidance. Excessive rehearsal of worst-case scenarios consumes cognitive energy and creates stress, reducing mental capacity for effective problem-solving. By learning to manage inner dialogue, you can ensure it supports rational evaluation rather than feeding anxiety-driven paralysis. 6. Emotional regulation through self-talk. Inner dialogue regulates emotion by shaping perception of events. Reframing negative experiences through constructive self-talk reduces stress and strengthens resilience. For instance, replacing self-criticism with compassionate reflection encourages learning from mistakes rather than dwelling on them. The tone, content, and focus of inner dialogue determine its effect on mood, motivation, and overall mental health. Understanding this allows intentional cultivation of narratives that improve emotional regulation and prevent mental fatigue. 7. Inner dialogue and mental fatigue. Excessive self-talk, especially when repetitive or negative, contributes to mental fatigue. The brain expends energy generating, analyzing, and reacting to thoughts, even when these thoughts are hypothetical or exaggerated. Overactive internal dialogue can make relaxation difficult, impair focus, and heighten stress. Recognizing this link helps individuals implement strategies like mindfulness, cognitive reframing, or structured journaling to manage inner dialogue and conserve mental energy for productive activity. 8. Strategies to improve inner dialogue. Improving inner dialogue involves awareness, monitoring, and active reshaping. Mindfulness meditation helps observe thoughts without attachment, reducing reactive self-talk. Journaling clarifies patterns, allowing reflection on recurring negative narratives. Cognitive restructuring challenges distorted thoughts, replacing them with balanced, constructive perspectives. Positive affirmations, goal-focused self-talk, and gratitude exercises reinforce beneficial narratives, promoting confidence and emotional stability. Consistent practice gradually retrains the brain to generate more supportive inner dialogue automatically. 9. Inner dialogue and self-identity. Inner dialogue influence self-identity by continuously reinforcing beliefs about abilities, values, and potential. Repetitive negative narratives can erode self-esteem, while constructive dialogue strengthens self-concept and resilience. By consciously shaping self-talk, individuals can align internal narratives with personal goals, fostering growth, motivation, and a coherent sense of identity. The brain responds to consistent patterns, making intentional self-talk a tool for long-term psychological development. 10. Mastering inner dialogue for mental clarity. Mastering inner dialogue transforms it from a passive, sometimes harmful force into an active tool for focus, problem-solving, and emotional well-being. Awareness of neurological mechanisms, cognitive biases, and emotional impact allows individuals to monitor thoughts and intervene when necessary. By cultivating constructive self-talk and managing mental patterns, the brain becomes an ally rather than a source of stress. This leads to clarity, resilience, and a stronger sense of control over life. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up, leave a comment, and click the button to subscribe.